Howdy, howdy, folks. A-Train here with you for another episode of Medieval Dynasty, now available on Steam from RenderCube Games and Toplets Productions. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. It is the middle of July, pretty much smack dab in the middle. I mean, it's a 31-day month. It's the 15th. That puts us in the middle, right? It's been a bit since I've done some streaming, and I got to say I've missed it. Went through kind of a downtime in June and into July, and it's not that I haven't been playing. I've been playing. It's been a matter of... Oh, come on. Let me get my thing here in chat. Chat's open. I'd say it's open, but I got to remember how to spell stuff. Yeah, there. Of course, I managed to double up the H on the howdy. 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 Anyway, as it said in the description, I've actually been playing the game. I started over. I actually started over like 5 or 6 times and played the first 24, 26 hours in the valley over. The objective being to expand upon the looting trail video I did way back a couple, 3, 4 months ago. All right, you can find that in the library of live streams. Okay, so go check that out. It's one of 2 different ways to think about how to start playing the game, and I'm convinced it is the right way to start, as opposed to just running down to Gostovia and starting crafting stone knives and then selling to rack up a bunch of money. That's good. But to me, the smarter play, at least if here's let's take a step back. First, let's kick I want to say kick into the game. We're not going to kick into the game just a second. Let's start with a couple of things. If you're new to the game, welcome to the Valley. Second, when you're setting up the game, in the settings, I recommend a couple of things. First off, what is first off? Those are in customization. Anyway, turn your brightness. Turn your brightness up to 125%. I do that for streaming. That way you guys can see the screen better. Okay? It makes life a lot easier. Reduce the foliage to low and the shadows to low. That'll make it easier to see stuff on the ground. Okay? Plus, it may make it easier on your machine to run the game, because then it doesn't have to render all the fancy foliage and all that stuff. The game's incredibly beautiful, don't get me wrong, but if you've got little vials and stuff on the ground and you don't have the skills yet to well, you won't even see those with the skills unless you've picked them up previously. So in the game settings, those are 3 things I recommend: brightness of 125%, foliage low, shadows low. Okay, now in customizing the game, everybody's got their own way of doing this. Here's what I like to do. Set up buildings to 200%. Turn on fast crafting. Oh, and set your days per season to 7. That gives you a pretty good amount of time to do things, but it's not forever. You could always set it to 30, do the things you want, and then sleep off the rest of the season. The problem is, what if you just keep having things to do, right? I think it's better to set yourself a time limit. You could go 3 days, so it's basically a day per month, right? But then you're going to find it difficult to complete things like quests when it takes you a full day to run across the map and back, because you have to obtain a widget for Alwyn. And I highly recommend not doing Alwyn's quest line until you absolutely have to. So anyway, so you could choose the crafting trail or the crafting path, whichever you want to call it, where you, from the start point, you run down to Gostovia and you say hi to Unigost, start the first thing, and then it tells you, hey, go make a axe, chop down a tree, make a hammer, and then you can start building stuff, right? And you start collecting 20 stones and 50 sticks at a time, all right? You may not be able to carry it all, so you collect the 20 stones, you go set them down on the path somewhere. Anything you set down will never move. I mean, it may move slightly, but it's not like someone will come along, pick it up, and steal it from you, at least not in the current iteration of the game. Each stone weighs 1 kilogram, okay? So you pick up 20 stones and then drop them, and they'll drop together as a cluster, as one unit. Then go find 50 sticks, okay? Because it's a 5 to 2 ratio. You need 5 sticks for 2 stones, and then with that 50 and 20, you'll make 10 stone knives, and that will sell for 20 coins per stone knife, and that'll get you 200 coins. Okay, you tracking what I'm saying here? So then there's a process there. You lather, rinse, repeat. Okay, you just drop the 10 knives. They'll fall in one stack, one unit, and then you go and you repeat the process over and over again until you get maybe 40 or 50 of them. Pick all those up, and if they're still open for business, run over and see Dobromira in the tavern, or go see the guy in the barn, or go see the chef lady, Alowina, or whatever her name is. Alina, I don't know. She's in the kitchen, or you can even go Sobermira, who's up with the cows. All right, those are 4 of the vendors permanent vendors in Gostovia. All right, go see them, sell all that off, then you got some money. Your next objective is going to be to get to Danica or Branica to get you a simple large backpack and a large pouch. Equip those. That'll up your carrying capacity to 65 kilograms. And then you need some weapons. Okay? To me, going and finding those weapons should be a higher priority. Okay? And that's why I recommend the looting path. Now, we're going to kick in. I've got the map pulled up right now. I'm just going to kind of walk you through what the looting path looks like. So in the game, you start right here at this crossroads. Here's Gostovia. All right. So you could either run down the trail of Gostovia. There's no threats along the way. You should always look for a crash cart right here to the west. I mean, it's like 20 feet away from you. All right. And then I also think you should run up on this little hill right here to the southeast along the trail. There's a little rise right here. And there may be a chest and a shovel. It won't hurt you to just go grab those things. There's nothing in this area but deer. All right. And I'll show you by using the filters tab. Doink. See, there's deer. There are no threats in this corridor right here. Okay. It's not until you venture out this way. I mean, you got to actually go a pretty good distance before you get to any threats. Okay. You would have to stumble off to the east over here to get into a wolf threat. All right. But then run down to Gostovia, and then you can start finding all the stones and sticks and stuff along here, along the river, along here. Another thing you can do is collect a whole bunch of the reeds down here by the water line, and this will start building your skills up. All right, that's right here, your skills. Okay, and you have 6 different categories of skills. You've got your extraction skills, which is you cut down trees, mine, and dig stuff up. All right, so basically you're acquiring raw materials for construction and making other things. Then you have hunting, which is you combat or hunting animals. Quick fact here, when you hunt things or cut down trees, performing the initial action is you only get part of the credit. So if you cut down a tree but you don't chop it into logs, you don't get full credit for the experience. Likewise, if you kill an animal but you don't skin the animal, you don't get full credit for the experience. You only get like 70%. Okay? So make sure if you cut down a tree, you go chop it into logs. You can leave the logs there. At that point, you've gotten the experience. And if you kill an animal, go skin the animal, you'll probably want to take the meat and get the once you skin the animal, you get the stuff anyway. You don't pick it up at that point. Once you've skinned it, it goes in your inventory. With trees, you cut the trees down, you chop it into logs with 2 additional chops, and then the logs are just laying there on the ground. So you can make a choice whether, hey, I'm not really here. I'm just trying to rack up some experience, or I don't have the carrying capacity right now. I'll come back and get these later. All right. They'll be there for you. Okay. Farming is kind of self-explanatory. It's when you farm and breed animals. Diplomacy is a little bit of a trick. This is dealing with the NPC characters, conversation, flirting, and trading. All right. And I found out that flirting is a big way to advance this and quickly. Okay. And we'll cover that along the way. Survival knowledge is picking up stuff like gathering. All right. So that would be collecting those sticks and stones. You're going to get survival points. And the first thing you need to unlock is survival knowledge. All right. If you get 1 point to start with, you have to unlock a tier 1 skill. Insensitive is about your temperature tolerance. You really don't need that, especially if you get winter clothes along the way, and you should. Iron liver is poison resistance, and you really don't need that. Just keep some St. John's wort on you, and that will take care of your issues of being poisoned along the way. So that's kind of how those work. Now, when you do unlock a second, because when you do a lot of gathering and crafting, the crafting is going to give you production and cooking, all right? So if you gather sticks and stones to make stone knives, and then you craft stone knives, you're going to pick up points here and here, all right? Likewise, if you hunt or if you do hunting and you get meat, and then you cook the meat, you get points here. You see what I'm saying? There's different things going on here, all right? If you do extraction, you cut down trees, and then you take those to convert them to firewood or planks, for example, in a woodcutter's shed, you get credit for that. Then if you take those planks and maybe make wood buckets or vials out of them, you get credit for that. Does that make sense? So that's how these things all tie together. And that's something that a game mechanic I didn't understand as fully at the beginning as I do now. All right. You can collect straw, all right, which is used for building thatch roofs, which is when you're building things. Actually, wait, where do you get the credit? Oh, I'll show you that in a second. That actually goes in your technologies when you're building things. But the straw is used for thatch roofs for buildings, so you'll need a bunch of it. And it doesn't weigh much, so you can collect like 200-300 of it at a time. But then also it can be used in the sewing hut to make the straw hats or the flat straw hats, which involves combining straw with linen cloth, right? And then you can either use that or sell it. So that's ways to make money. So you get all these points of these things. The very first thing you need to do is unlock a tier 1 skill. Always unlock the top one, the knowledge, because then you get bonuses towards, you get more credit for each action you perform. All right. See, I've got these at 3 out of 3, so I get 15%. All right. Here, I only get 5% because I've only got 1 out of 3. But next, then I'll get 10%. All right. So you get faster. But then it unlocks a skill level 2. Now, the first thing you should do in hunting is unlock tracker. This allows you to track animals in inspector mode. I play on PC. That's when you push the Alt key and you kind of go into this scanner mode. And then you can see animals in either green, yellow, or red, which means non-threat, only a threat if you attack them, and hostile towards you. Okay? But it also helps you see ones that you've killed that maybe you lost sight of, and then you can go make sure you get it skinned. Likewise, in survival mode, you want survival sense. This allows you to see sticks, stones, mushrooms, feathers, and herbs in inspector mode. And in diplomacy, you want to unlock empathy. This reveals the NPC's personalities during conversations, which will tell you what their skills are, so they'll help you recruit people who have like multiple 3s. Maybe they're a 3 at hunting, a 3 at farming, and a 3 at production. And that's a really good character. But maybe they're a 2 at fishing, and then a 1 at diplomacy and extraction. Okay? You want people with at least 2 3s in there and maybe a couple of 2s. You don't want someone who's like a 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1 kind of setup. You don't want them. All right? Now, how do you do that before you actually unlock empathy? Is you go and interview them. You go talk to them, and in the dialogue, it will give you an option to make small talk. When you open the dialogue for small talk, there's tell me something about your skills, or tell me about your skills. And you need to do this several times, but they'll tell you, I'm great with my hands, or I love farming, or farming is hard work, but it's got to be done. Okay? That's someone who's good at farming. All right? Another person is, oh, I'm skilled with a bow, and I really can hunt well. All right? That's a good hunter. Likewise, and you may unlock you may see up to 3 skills that they have 3s at, and that's what you want. So before you have empathy unlocked, that's what you need to do. Now, you want to know what they're bad at, you ask the next question, which is what gives you problems. And they'll say, well, I'm not very good with patient with crafting things or something like that. Okay? It will tell you what they're not good at. You'll eventually, when you recruit them, you'll see 3, 3, 3, and then a 1 here, and maybe a 1 there, and a 2 or something like that. All right. So that's how you help determine who you want to recruit into the village. All right. So you get points for doing all these things. Then as you gather those points, you also build towards, and you do things, you build technology points. And doing extraction and building, you unlock building technology. All right. Once you get 20 points, which doesn't take a whole lot, you unlock a well, and then you unlock resource storage, and then you unlock woodshed. This comes along very quickly early on. Okay. And you can see there's schemes related to these. These are various little things that you can build in different things. You can either make them yourself by hand, or stuff like the woodshed. You can craft things. Okay. In the simple house, I've unlocked the log bench. Why did you unlock the log bench, A-Train? Because you put them around the fireplace. And the fireplace is the place where people gather. Let me see where the fireplace comes up. There's a wooden campfire, but I actually... fishing... Stone campfire. Wooden campfire goes away. Stone campfire is permanent. Okay? So that you want to set that up as kind of like a little social area for your people in your village. You build a stone campfire, you put some of the benches around it, and they'll gather there in the morning and in the evening before and after work and just kind of socialize. So it's pretty cool. And it makes them happy. All right. So you see there's different things to unlock and then different technologies to work with. Also, there's farming technology. All right. And this is critical. All right. Food storage 1 is a building you must have. You do this by farming and breeding animals. All you got to do is make like a 5x10 field, if that, and then go grub the ground, which means you hit each little tile with the hoe, with a wooden hoe that you make out of a log and some sticks or a couple of logs. Whack, 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 whack. And then you'll get the points to unlock food storage. You've got to have that for your villagers who put all the food and buckets of water in it. And that's where they go get their food and water. Okay. You got to have resource storage, put firewood in, and that's where they'll go get firewood or things to do their jobs, unless you put it in their individual buildings, which is what I prefer to do. All right. Finally, there's production technology. You get this by crafting items and cooking. I've been doing a lot more cooking, and the workshop allows you to make some basic things, which you'll want to be able to make wooden buckets, for one, so you can have water stored up in food storage for your people to come get. Wooden bowls and wooden plates are used for cooking in the kitchen. Wooden spoons are something that you make with a stick, and it gives you an item to sell. All right, so you pick up lots of sticks. I mean, you get sticks every time you chop down a tree, right? Well, you can turn those into wooden spoons, or you can use them to make wicker baskets. All right, see, it takes 5 sticks. Wooden spoon takes 1 stick. All right, a wooden ladle takes 1 stick. All right. And then if you get clay, you can do, wood does a wooden vial, so it takes a plank. And a bucket takes 2 planks, all right, which is 1 log. 1 log gives you 2 planks. But logs also give you a bunch of wooden bowls. You get like 5 per, okay, or 5 wooden plates from each log. And then you go in the kitchen and you make stuff. All right, so there's enough willy foo-foo stuff. You can see I've unlocked a ton of stuff. You already saw the map where my village is here. Now, I was talking about that's the kind of the crafting trail way to go. Let's talk about the looting trail. So again, you start right here. You hit this cart here if it's there. You go up on this rise here. You hit the chest and the shovel. Then you come down the trail, cross the creek, come down the trail. You come up over this rise right here. All right. And once you come over the rise, you can kind of cut to the southeast. And open the map up, and you want to mark yourself a spot, and that's where you double click on it. Where you want to go is right here. All right, so you can cut straight across. Bullwinkle and his girlfriends are not going to mess with you. They will run away from you. So just run through here, because if you get too close to Tatanka, to the Wizzent, they will jack you up. First, they're faster than you. Second, they will headbutt you in the next week and kill you. All right, you cannot take them out unless you have advanced weapons. All right, you can't outrun them, and you can't out headbutt them. So you go down to this little spot here in the creek. It's actually right here. There may be a crash cart there. All right. Next step, and this is all on the looting trail, is you go up in the hills here and you're looking for this pigeon spawn right here. There's a little pile of rocks. Sometimes there's a wooden shovel. You lift up the top 2 of the, as you face east, the rightmost of the top 2 rocks, and you'll find a coin purse with like 300 coins. You can run over here and look and see if there's an abandoned camp right here. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Okay. The trick is you don't want to venture too far, because there's wolves right here, and they're on both sides of the creek. Each of these animal spawns, if you're not familiar with this, they do have an effective radius of where they can operate. They will not leave that spawn radius. So if you encounter them and you back out of that spawn radius, you'll be safe if it's a hostile, which is a wolf, boar, bear, or wizard. All right. Now, once you've got this squared away, what we want to do is there's a couple of options, but you want to get back to this bridge here. Now, once you get back to this bridge, you can run out here to this crossroads because sometimes there is a crash cart right here. Otherwise, you want to backtrack here and come down this way here. And right about this bend in the creek, there may be a crash cart. And make sure you look around in the water. There may be something like a clay pot or clay bottle or something. You may get stuff. The only thing you don't want to pick up is rot. That's the only thing you don't need at this point. That you can deal with later, and I'll tell you how you deal with that. Then you want to walk in the creek, and it goes through a little tunnel in the rocks right here. And you're looking for a bronze pickaxe on the left side of the tunnel, almost to the end. And if there's one sticking out, you'll see it because you'll see the handle sticking out. If it's there, there's also going to be 3 iron ore stones on the ground. Go ahead and pick those up. If it's not there, that's fine. Now, we start to get over into hostile animal territory here. You want to stay kind of near the creek. The wolves here can actually venture just past the path, coming out of this spot right here. There can be a camp here, and it'll be a 2-tier camp. There'll be a little bit of it here and a little bit of it here. I've yet to see anybody occupying the camp, but if the camp's there, what you want to do is kill the wolves and then take what you can get out of the camp. There will be a camp here as well. I've never seen it occupied, but there's usually 2 to 3 wolves in this area. Rabbits will come down and the wolves will chase the rabbits. Wolves will attack other animals. So those are good things to know. Anyway, the key thing here is after you've gone after the pickaxe, you come down is basically follow along just the edge of the creek. And what you're going to look for is the triple waterfall. Now, right here where I've got the mouse pointing, there's usually a trunk with some items in it, and maybe there's a shovel next to it. If you wander over this direction, you'll see there's clay pits. Sometimes there's a shovel over there as well. If it's a wood shovel, at this point, you might as well just leave it alone unless you aren't finding much else. You can collect up 2 or 3 wood shovels. But you're better off, I mean, if you need to drop something, drop the wood shovel. Okay? They'll drop them on the path. You can come back and get them later. Right? But then what you're looking for is a camp right here. And I've never seen it occupied either. It's usually an abandoned camp. There may be the camp and or a crashed cart right here next to it. If you're lucky, there's both. Because the camp typically will have a bow. It'll usually be a recurve bow. And some iron arrows, possibly bronze arrows laying around. You've got to really look around the campsite. Pick up everything you can. All right. And then if the cart's there, get that as well. If you get a flat straw hat, just put that on your head and just use it. Now, you could, if you get weapons at this point, and there should be an axe as well, so you can put those weapons in your slot so you've got them available. Anyway, arm yourself, and if you feel comfortable using the weapons, if you've played before, you should be adept with a bow and arrow. You could come over here and look for a camp. Oh, wait, it's not there. It's here. All right, so some rocks here. The camp is usually right about here. So it's kind of, wolves will come into the camp, boar can come into the camp, but you're kind of at the edge of the range for both. So if you see them and you don't hear them growling at you, then you should be okay. All right. You can always kill them, take the meat, take the leather or the fur. But if you get weapons at this site, you can go check this site for a hunting camp. And if you want, you can backtrack then to this site because you're armed and dangerous at this point. There's high ground right here. You can pick off one of the wolves at a time. The good way to see this is if you come out of this cave and over to here, you come up on these rocks right here, you should be able to look to the east and you'll see the tents. If there's something there, you'll see the tents. You could then go back to this camp. So potentially there's 4 camps right in this area you could hit. But this is the one that's the key to everything. Because that's the one that's going to give you weapons so you can defend yourselves against the wolves and the boar over here, wolves here, wolves here. right? Now, if you're playing multiple days on the seasons, they'll still be there. You can grab your stuff, head down this path. There may be a crash cart or something here in this area. I have seen the camp that was occupied. I think it was here. Or maybe it was here. I got a map I put up. There may be a cart in this area. There may be abandoned supplies along this bridge. There may be abandoned supplies in a couple of places along the river's edge here. Okay. You come along here. You could come up here and check for a crash cart here. It'll have a bunch of potions around it, but it doesn't appear very often because it's got a bunch of potions around it. Now, two critical things I'm going to tell you to hold on to. Potion of sobriety and a wooden crossbow. If you come across those two things, do not sell them. And if you're working the Unigast quest line, when it tells you you need to go to Hornica to find this chick who was a member of the gang of whatever they call themselves, all right, she'll be in this house right here. And she's going to need that potion of sobriety to sober her up. But then she's going to send you to Jezerica. Well, she's going to send you over to find a medic. Then you got to come back and talk to her again. And then she's going to send you to Jezerica to find this dude who owes her a favor. And that dude's going to say, yo, I need some help. I need a new crossbow. And you're going to say, oh, cool. Check this out. Boom. Here's your crossbow. Get moving. And then that saves you from having to go all the way over to Lesnica to get a crossbow and come back and forth. Because if you don't have a potion of sobriety coming out of Hornica, I think the closest place you have to go is Baranica. Or maybe Borowo. All right, to get it. You don't want to have to do all that road tripping, okay? You're going to have to run around enough as it is. I mean, you'll start out at Gustovia, and then you'll be told to go see whatever his name is that lives in a little hut up here, and then he'll jerk you around, and then you go back, and then you go back, and then he'll wind up sending you over to Tutki, and then the guy in Tutki will send you back over here, and then as the story moves on, then you wind up going to Hornica. Oh, no, because then you wind up going back up here, and then you go to Hornica, because at this point you're starting to get some answers about the deal. And then you go see the medic, then you go back to Hornica, then you got to go to this guy, then you got bip. You see what I'm saying? All right, so looting trail, go there, hit the pickaxe here, head down along the stream side, look for the chest here. Now there's boar over here, but I don't think they come across the river, the stream. So just go to here and then go back across. Then you go down the hill looking for camp here and or crash cart here. All right. There may be something along the trail here. You could at that point go back over to the camp over here. You could go to the camp over here. All right. You could go to the camp over here. There's 4 camps in that area. Later, when there are hostile camps, which means there's guys who want to hurt you, you may find one here, but it won't be right away. Go on into Gustovia, and then you can talk to Unigast, and he will tell you, hey, feel free to build you a house, and then the game starts walking you through the process of, okay, you need to go gather some stones and sticks, make a simple axe or stone axe, cut down some trees, blah, blah, blah. All right. It's telling you then how to play the game effectively. All right. And that's when you start building your crafting skills. But at this point, if you've gone the looting path, you should have a bunch of stuff, and you should be able to sell a lot of it. If you have an axe, especially if it's bronze or iron, do not sell it. If you have a knife that is bronze or iron, do not sell it. All right. If you have a potion of sobriety, do not sell that. If you have a wooden crossbow, do not sell that. Okay. You could, in fact, you could set those down in the tavern in Gustovia, which is this building right here. Just put them on the floor. That's where you may just want to pile your junk for a while, is right in the corner of this building. That way it's out of the AI people's way when they're walking around. And you'll know where it is. Nobody's going to take it. And then you can go down and start doing your gathering of sticks and stones. You cut down the trees, blah, blah, blah. That unlocks more stuff. Now, then the question becomes, where do you want to build your first house? Lots of options. A lot of people recommend this area. It's pretty flat, but it's devoid of trees. So you have to import the trees. Over here, there's lots of trees, but there's wolves. Notice this wolf's grayed out. That's because I killed them. Anything that's grayed out, like the piggies here and the wolves here, I've killed them. All right. They respawn at the beginning of the next season, so you got to kind of watch out for that. It should be piggy, 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 piggy. No piggy? Oh, no, I killed the piggy. Where's the piggy? Piggy, where are you? There's a piggy spawn point right in this area. Or there was. Did this building cancel it out? Once you build buildings, it'll start canceling out spawn points. There's a radius. Because that's lynx. Lynx are skittish animals like foxes and badgers. And we don't need no stinking badgers. They are cute and furry. They won't hurt you unless you attack them first. And then they'll come after you. Or unless you've hurt them significantly. All right? If you've hurt them, they'll tend to run away. In which case you got to chase them down because you want to complete the kill. Just don't let them lead you into a bad situation. Like, I don't know, boars or wolves or whizzing. Oh my. All right? Don't get yourself killed just trying to, I shot a fox and the fox ran into another spawn area. Next thing you know, you're getting chased by something much bigger and tougher than you are. Anyway, there's a boar spawn in here, but it looks like now I may have actually canceled it out because of building this resource storage site here. So that's all good. But what you're looking at is anything that's indicated in white. And again, this is on the wild animals filter. All right, this is with the normal screen here. Wild animals filter will show you in white things that are alive in the spawn. And once you've wiped out whatever's there, boar, see where I'm pointing right here? Is the grayed out guy right there? He's dead. I killed 2 or 3 of them. Wolves, killed 3 of them. All right. Over here, wolves, killed 4 of them. All right. Why'd you kill them, A-Train? Because there's a spot right about here on the trail where you find a crashed cart. And then there's also sometimes an abandoned camp in this area. But the wolves eat the rabbits. Now, that's a natural part of nature and everything. I get that. Except I like the funny bunnies. I usually keep away from killing foxes and lynx after I've gotten through the first couple. Because they're just cute. I like them. They run away from you. Bunnies, they multiply so quick. Who cares? Wolves? No. You guys are free game. You're done. All right. So killed the wolves because they were eating the rabbits. I accidentally, I think, ran some of the rabbits. The rabbits, see how close these two are together? Well, their spawns overlap. Well, the rabbits run into the wolf spawn. The wolves will eat the rabbits. And then if you'll actually come across a rabbit carcass you can skin, and you'll get the meat and the fur from it. But I got one wolf that had killed 2 bunnies. So I killed the wolf and skinned it, and there were 2 dead bunnies next to it. That did not make me happy, so that wolf had to die. Anyway, I digress. Where to build your village? You could build over in this area. Again, once you start building stuff, it'll start canceling out these spawn points. All right. This is flat, but there's lots of trees. The only thing is you're further away from Gustovia, and that's where the story is. Once you get through the story, the Unigoth story, and you have like a wife, you can pay your taxes from there with her, so you don't have to actually walk. Other popular areas to the west of this lake here by Denica, it's fairly flat. It gets open and there's trees and stuff you have access to. I don't know if there's I think maybe there's reeds, so you can actually build thatching for roofs. So that will work out. And then there's just it's a very intriguing place. It's a nice view. There's a lot of space here to work with. It's fairly flat. It rises as you go to the west, because you can see here you got kind of some peaks. Denica is a good place to be near for clothing. Weapons you get at Lesnica and Hornica. You get clothing from Denica and Branica. And you get animals from, I think you get pigs in Rolnica. Gustovia, you can get geese, cows. I think that's it. You get sheep in Baranica. I think you get chickens in Borowo. And you get horses in Hornica. Jezreka is a fishing village. So there's not a whole lot to gain there. Yeah, Lesnica, has all of your weapons and tools of various types. So there's just kind of how to read the map. Tutki, they sell donkeys in Tutki. So that's a good thing to know, right? So where to get animals. And you can actually ask the non-player character people these questions. Where can I find this? And you will find that. They'll tell you where to find it. All right, but that's a general idea. So all right. So yeah, there's the two different ways to start. You can go back and watch those videos and see how I handled the first 24, 28 hours of the game. 24 to 26 hours, you should have about 2,500 coins. And if you did the looting trail, you should have some stuff. At that point, go follow the path. You have two ways to go. You could go across and up to Branica. There's Branica and Baranica because, you know, I don't know, just because. I recommend going to Denica. Now, the only thing you got to do is when you're coming down the path here is just watch out for boar. Notice their spawn is a little away from the path. I don't know if they'll come up to the path. And there's some places where there's wooden railing. They won't go through the railing, so the railing can hide you from them. But if you have to, just, you know, kind of cut away from it, keep moving. You'll find the Uber dude here. That's the Wagoneer. But in Denica, you go right around the building, and then this building right here is where the sewing lady is. And she'll fix you up with a large pouch and a simple large backpack. Write that down. Large pouch, simple large backpack. If you go to Branica, this is the building you want to go to right here. It's the same situation there. That will increase your carrying capacity to 65 kilos. Your next step then may well be to go and arm yourself if you've got the coins to buy either a longbow or a recurve bow and get iron arrows. When you leave Denica, notice again, there's wolves here. There's wolves here. So basically, if you just kind of go west-northwest and cut over, you may find a camp along the way. You may find some loot spawns or some spawns of crash carts. Just get on the path, cross the river, and you want to get in there before like 8 p.m. to catch these people. And I think it's Jan is the guy's name in Lesnica. That you can go buy a bow. And don't get the simple bow. Get either the longbow or the recurve bow. The longbow is cheaper. I think the recurve bow hits about the same. But if you found a bow over here at this camp, then you're in good shape. You may just want to stock up on iron arrows to keep in your quiver. All right, where else would you might build? Some people like to build up in this little highland area up here. It's got a nice view. Trees are a little sparse. You can get them from the east and bring them in to build. It's fairly flat. Some people like to build in this area. Again, it's fairly flat. Lots of trees available. There's usually a couple of spawn points for stuff around these two bridges. Part of the story quest takes you over to this waterfall. A camp can spawn right up here. Camps can spawn here. Camps can spawn a couple different places along this road, over here, all along this side. Lots of places stuff can spawn. But you see my village I've actually built right here. My previous one, Riverbend, we built right here by Borowo. All right. Some people build along next to Gustovia. Some people even build way over here, which is a grassy hillside. But you've got to import all the logs, so it's kind of a pain. Some people like to build over here on the east side of the lake by Hornica. That, to me, puts you way away from Gustovia. Although Hornica is nice. Again, you can get all your weapons and tools there. You can get horses there. You can get all foodstuffs there. And in this position here, you can get past the bear. There's a bear spawn here. Okay, it kind of covers this area. But you can get past it and into the southeast cave, which is here. All right, so that's an option. But you do have some threats from boars and wisents in the area. So you got to be mindful of that. All right. So what are we doing, A-Train? Now that you've been talking for frickin' ever. Yeah, I know. Good Lord, I have. Let's take a quick look at what we got on Rasimir right now. We're in winter mode. So we're kind of sporting a cap and a hood. That's kind of a new look for me. I got an iron crossbow and 20 bolts. Probably going to go restock that here before too long. Iron knife and iron axe, so we're well equipped. You can see, boom, 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 hotkeys. Axe goes in 1. I always put my bow or crossbow in 3, and put a knife in 8. You always want to have a knife equipped on you so that if you kill something, you go up to skin it, it will automatically perform the action. We'll say you need a knife to do this. Well, gee, thanks. There's our large pouch. We got some noble boots as opposed to fur boots, but notice our temperature or cold protection is 100%. So we're good at where we are. We got some potions we've crafted. Quilted vest, which is rather stylish looking. Thick leather gloves, keep our hands warm. We carry a torch at all times, and trousers with cuffs, plus a water skin, which I actually need to reload. So yeah, and we're actually very light. We're under 15 kilos. If you're under 15 kilos, you're running light, and that's smart. Okay, you want to have enough food. I picked up some salted meat for some bad guy camp, and then I think I've also got some dried fish meat. I don't have a ton of food on me, but this oat roll is like 55 points. So when I run this down, and I'm at home base anyway, so I'm going to stock up on water and everything before we roll out, once I figure out what we're going to go do. So skill-wise, we're maxed out on survival. When you're at this point here, sometimes you'll get 1 point, sometimes you'll get 2. You'll see that here. All right, I've got 15 skill points allocated through here. All right. And then what you can do is once you marry, you can get your wife to allow you to allocate your skill points, because then you no longer need the knowledge ones. I don't think, because that may also affect the points going to technology now that I think about it. So maybe you do want to keep points in the knowledge skill. That's a good point. But here under extraction, mule is a skill level 3. This takes you up 5 kilograms at tier 1, 10 at tier 2, and 15 kilograms at tier 3. So I'm maxed out. I can carry 80 kilograms. That's the max you'll get with a simple, with large pouch, simple large backpack, and 3 points in mule. You'll be able to carry 80 kilos. All right, that's where you want to be. You want to be able to max out your loading. So there's all this other stuff to put it into. Hunting, it's kind of cut back. It doesn't give us a whole lot of points. Here we got 6 total points out of 15. In farming, we got 5, 6, 7 points. That one takes a while. Diplomacy, we're working our way. So you can see over here how many points I've got towards how many for the next bonus. We've only got 4 points of diplomacy, but I've put some in inspiring speech to raise my people's production. And then empathy allows you to see people's skills. And then barter gives you better selling and buying prices. Aha. So that's a good thing, but you also, you want empathy. We're maxed out in survival there. The keys here is strong as an oak gives you more health, up to 30%. So it'll take you from 100 points to 110 points to 120 points to 130 points. You want survival sense so you can see stuff on the ground. Survivalist means slower loss of food and water. Athlete means slower stamina consumption during movement. Solid as rock means less damage received. All right. So I'll probably reallocate some of those. If maybe not, because really I've maxed out on my health. I'm maxed out on lower stamina consumption and less damage received. Survivalist is the only thing is slower loss of food and water. I might move 1 point from solid as a rock to survivalist simply because I don't take that much damage, or I would move one from survival skills over. Insensitive, temperature difference. Headstrong means alcohol resistance. Who cares? Water dancers, faster movement in water. You don't move a whole lot in the water. And iron liver is resistance to poisoning. That's why you keep St. John's wort on you. Simple. All right. So that is a pretty good look at where we are at. So let's just punch out of this. Hey, it's night. It's raining. What time is it? Oh, it's nighttime. Nighttime. So we're on day 2 of winter of year 2. I have accomplished all of this stuff. Okay? And I have completed the Unigost quest line. I have not touched Alwyn. Don't touch Alwyn. He's a pain in the butt. I've done all these things, maxed out this skill, almost maxed out. Let's see, we're tier 4 there, tier 5 here, tier 3 there. Production is maxed out now, 3, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 15. Yep. So I've maxed out survival and production at 15 points, which means you're at 10 here. All right. Because there's a couple of cases where you get 1 point. There's a couple of cases where you get 2 points. All right. So be mindful of that. If it says +2, you got 2 points to allocate. So, and you do want to unlock another tier. All right. So be smart about that. We're only at tier 5 in extraction. Hunting's tier 4 and farming's tier 5, and then diplomacy is tier 3. So we're going to work on that. We have a ways to go there, but I think, no, I just upgraded extraction by digging clay. Hunting, we got a ways to go, but we're getting there. Okay. So again, this is year 2. We're about to wrap up year 2 and go into tier 3, and this is where I'm at. Now, if you want to look at my village, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So actually we're balanced. There's 7 men, 7 women in the village. Nobody's paired up. Everybody's got their own separate house. You do not want them making babies. Look at their moods. Their moods are high. Right now we're on a bonus for moods. Excuse me, the king likes us. That's indicated right here. Favorable. Plus, they're eating good in the neighborhood. And I'll show you that in a second, because this is something I've just learned playing the game. Not too long ago, like the last few days. Is seeing what people like to eat. All right. So you go into management to handle all your stuff that's people related, right? We go into housing. Everybody's in either a simple house or a simple small house. All of them are built from stone. Just build your houses from stone from the start. Build the walls from stone. You could upgrade the roofs later, but even then I recommend building them with wooden planks. Simply because once you've got a woodcutter shed, which you should have before you bring anybody else in the village. I had like 6 or 7 buildings first. Hi Lee, happy Sunday, Funday. How are you today? Get that built so then you can start turning logs into planks. And the first person you want to hire into your village is going to be that woodcutter shed. And you want that person to be a tier 3 in extraction. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's production. Extraction, that would be here. Okay. So notice Fisher, that's an extraction job. No, it's not a survival job. I take that lie back. But this Bernadetta is looking like a pretty good wife candidate. She's already upgraded to a 4 in hunting, and I moved her into fishing. Here is a big time one. Gundolf, he was a great find. And he's at 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. No ones. And I think previously, let me just actually click on this. Nope, he's been in farming. So we're upgrading farming to a 3. And why does this matter? Because when we pair him up with a woman, their skills combined will be what their child's skills are. Okay? So that's why you want to make sure that their skill levels are as high as you can get them. So that when they have children, they're more effective people. All right? You can see I've got several people that have 4s now. Lasota now has a 4. Ludwika, okay? He's in production. Extraction, here we go. Here's our extractors. Lumberjacks and miners are extractors. If you put someone working the water well, that's an extraction job. Okay? But the lumberjacks, and when you build a lumberjacks or a woodcutter shed, it only holds 1 person until you do like tier 2, and then I think you can put 2 people at 1. Here's what's the key. That person will then go cut down trees and make logs for you, and they can gather or they can turn those logs into planks or firewood. Now you're going to need firewood in the village, but you can craft that yourself. All right. The point being, you need a lot of logs to build a village, a lot. And if you go cut down the trees, then it takes 2 years for the tree to regrow. Unless you dig up the stump, then the tree will not regrow. Yeah, you'll get an extra log to start with, but the tree won't regrow. Okay. But if a NPC does it as a villager, as a lumberjack, they just go cut down trees. They stand there at the wood, at the shack all day, the shed, and they just look like you're carving planks or something. That's their action. But they're actually out gathering logs as long as you have axes of some sort in the bins, either in resource storage or in the bins at their woodcutter shed, which is what I prefer to do, is have the tools there for them to get. That's the first person you should hire, is someone who's a 3 in extraction, and put them to work cutting down logs. Now, how do you put them to work cutting down logs? These are your buildings, okay? And we were looking at houses. All our stone walls all only have one person, okay? The simple houses will hold 4 people. So the simple small houses will hold 3. So you can put a man and a woman in there. You can't put 2 men or 2 women in a house. It doesn't work. But you can put a man and a woman in there. If they get together and hook it up, then they'll have a baby, okay? And that will facilitate. But if you want to have bigger families, then you got to build the simple house. Now you got to unlock that, and then you build a house, which is what I've got. But it still only holds 4 people. All right, but it's really nice. So you'll see Strogomir, Ulrika, and Zygmunta. Strogomir, Ulrika, and Zygmunta. Here's Zygmunta, it's a 73. Ulrika is a 71. Strogomir is a 79. They're the highest rated happiness. Except Presmir, who's doing something he really likes, and I think he's in a fully insulated, simple, small house. All right. If I click on him, he's in simple, small house 01. Yes, I know that house is stone walls, plank roof, is insulated, and I believe I put shutters on the windows that close. All right. So that house is well on its way to being upgraded. And that's how you make your people happier. Plus, everybody's in the 60s and 70s. Casimir is still fairly new to the village. So I may just need to do some upgrades to her house. Let's find out where she is. She's in simple small. I have not numbered her simple small house, which means it's one of the newest ones. All right. So she's in one of these two, which are up at this end of the village. And that's her right there. Nope, that's Simowet, which means Casimira must be crafting. I set that house up where we could put a farmer in it because it's closer to the farm shed. Anyway, so she's happy. We're going to do some work upgrading her home, and that will make her happier. The other thing why people are happy is because I'm feeding them well. So you click on this thing right here, people's demand control. You click on this, and look, there's a list. Cherry pie, poppy seed pie, pear tarts, meat parts, all kinds of stuff. Hey, A-Train, I see lots of zeros. You don't have any of these. That's correct, because I can't make any of those. All right? See where the priority is over here? You can actually reclassify by these various things, and you can turn off whether you want them to eat them or not. So if I want to make cherry pies and I'm bringing in cherries and the people start eating the cherries, guess what I'm not going to be able to make for them? Cherry pies, right? Or I may want to sell cherry pies because they're worth a pretty penny. You turn off the consumable and your people will not eat that item in the food storage. Now, watch this. Oh, well, that was boring. Let's try that again. Oh, hello. That changed things, huh? Yeah, so now we see everything that's in my food storage. And I've got a tier 2 food storage building. So it holds 1,000 kilos, which is good because I was full up. We've got lots of cabbage. We've got lots of dried meat, lots of carrots, roasted meat. Actually, this may be what's also in my kitchen. I'm not sure if that's included. Well, look down here. We've got soup, mushroom soup, meat with gravy, and pottage. Wow, that's a lot of pottage, A-Train. Why do you have so much pottage? Well, first off, it's easy to make. It's cabbage and meat and a bowl. And you make it in the cauldron in the kitchen. over here is the priority. Remember that list? When we went by names? Here, we've alphabetized it, right? Let's list by priority. Okay? See the priority? If we scroll down the list, soup, number 24. We've got soup. It's easy to make. It's a beetroot. It's beetroot plus meat in a bowl. Makes soup. It's a little tricky. That's why there's not a whole lot of it, because you kind of don't start growing beetroot right away. Pottage is number 26. Lots of pottage because that's easy to do. Once you have hunters, you'll have lots of meat coming in. So that gives you a way to use the meat. And if you grow cabbage in the fields, boom, you combine the two, you make pottage. You could sell it too. Okay? It's worth a nice amount. Meat with gravy. This is a plate. So this takes a wooden plate. It takes meat and 3 different kinds, one of each mushroom. The bitter bolete mushroom, parasol mushroom, and the red pine mushroom, plus 1 meat. And a plate equals meat with gravy. All right? So that's where you collect the mushrooms in the fall for. The bitter bolete and the fly algaric mushrooms, those need to go in the herbalist hut. That's what uses them. There may be a dish that uses them, but who cares? Also, there's mushroom soup. Okay? Oh, I just turned it off. That didn't do me any good. Mushroom soup involves like one of each kind, and it's pretty simple. But even roasted meat or raw vegetables are pretty good on this. Like carrots is right a little bit further down. There's beetroot, there's roasted meat, there's dried fish meat, here's carrots. Here's dried meat. You see what I'm saying? All right. Fish meat, just raw, is 47. But if you dry it, which is on the rack in the fishing hut, or if you roast it, see how it moves up the priority list? All right. So this is a very good tool. So we can show how many we have stored and where those things rank priority-wise to our people. Dried meat's not so popular. We have lots of it. But dried meat, I think, goes with the mushrooms to make mushroom soup. Or meat with gravy, one or the other. No. It's roasted meat. Goes in meat with gravy. All right? So there's a tool to use. We don't have any animals at this point. We have a bunch of farm fields, and I've just reallocated them and planted some for winter. Excuse me, we have wheat in field 1. It's a 10 by 6 field. I think that's a very good size. Excuse me. You can manage that size field by yourself, easy enough. Okay? 10 by 6, good field size. You could go 16 by 16, but then you're going to use up multiple tools, and you're going to have to get a lot of fertilizer because that's 256 tiles. Okay? Whereas 10 by 6 allows you to be flexible with the design. I mean, with like the crops, you can manage in 2 to 3 hours. You can perform all the actions related to that field. If you need to hoe it or grub it, fertilize it, and then grub it again, and then plant, that may take you half a day at most. All right? But that's going to build your farming skills, and that's a good thing. But you can get seeds for everything and fertilizer in Gustovia. Now, all around the map, there are berry bushes. In the spring, they're unripe berries. In the summer, they're ripe berries. That's what you use to make fertilizer, because you can get like 400, 500, 600 from a cluster of bushes. Gather those up, take them back to your village, and in my case, what I do is I have baskets sitting outside. This is resource storage here. This is food storage. This is the kitchen. There's baskets sitting right here. And I just drop them. In fact, I'm going to build a compost bin here because I haven't built one of those before. And that's a new addition to the game. But you drop stuff on the ground. Now, if you turn off this option when you're doing your game customization, the stuff will not rot. Okay? Keep it off unless you want to decorate with food items. You know, and some people do. They want to make it look like there's a table set for a picnic or, you know, for people to eat. And it looks like there's food on the plates and whatever. That's cool. So you just then go in and turn that option off. But the point is, you're going to need fertilizer, and you're going to need a lot of it. 10 by 6 field, that means 60 fertilizer. A 16 by 16 field, that's 256 fertilizer. That's going to be expensive. Get the fertilizer, do your first field, get flaxseed, do the first field in the spring of year one. Spring of year one, build your first field. First off, it unlocks the food storage building, which you need for your people to get their food out of. So if you start bringing people in and you don't have food storage, I just dealt with this in a conversation last night. If you don't have food storage, where are your people going to get the food and water? They're not, unless I think you can put it in their house. But I'm not sure. I wouldn't trust that. Okay. Food storage. It doesn't take anything to do this except laying out a field and using a hoe, wooden hoe, just whack away. And I think it takes about 20 tiles. And you'll see food storage 1 unlocked. Boom. Problem solved. Now, you're going to want to press on from there and get barn 1 unlocked, because you're going to need that to thresh the flax, so that you have flax stalks, which you can either sell or turn into linen thread at the sewing hut. Okay. And you'll get flax seeds. And you usually get 2 to 3, maybe 4 flax seeds per tile of crop. Why is that important? Because then you don't have to buy flax seeds again. Then you use those to plant the field the next season. And say, all right, say you build a 10 by 6 field. So that's 60 tiles, right? If you get 120 seeds back from that, the next season you could do 2 10 by 6 fields. Then you might get 240 seeds, in which case you could replant those 2 fields every year, because you're going to want to replant them. Or you could add another field, or you could sell the excess seeds, and they're worth a pretty penny. So any way you can get to where you have a couple of 3 fields that you sow flax in the spring. This field is wheat right now. In the spring, that will probably go to flax. This field too is dormant and ready to plant. It's going to get flax. Field 3 is going to get beetroot, and that takes until the fall to grow. So that one's going to stay there. Field 4 may go to flax. I'm not sure. Or field 5 may go to flax. So I'll have probably 3 fields of flax, because that's your money crop, and you want to start that in spring of year 1. This is why I don't like the idea of just a short, like 2 to 3 day season. You can't do all the work yourself and get it done. All right? Give yourself time to do the work. Give yourself a full day to do the farming work. You work over. I haven't slept yet. I'm 2 full years into the game, and Rasimir hasn't slept, because you don't have to. All right? So use that to your advantage. No animals, whatever. Okay? Other buildings, we've got extraction buildings. We've got an excavation shed. We got a second one, but that's up camping the central mine after I killed the bears, so the bear won't come back. Herbalist hut, we got that. We got a well. I do all the well work. I do all the herbalist hut work. We got woodshed 1 and woodshed 2. One in the, well, those are both kind of up in the hillside of the village. And so we got 2 people working up there to gather logs, turn those into planks, turn some into firewood, and what have you. Hunting, we've got a hunting lodge 1, which will hold 2 people, and fishing hut 1. So those are people gathering our meat for us. We just got to keep this stocked with stone knives at minimum. I keep it stocked with bronze knives at this point. Copper knives would work too. The fishing hut is a little different though. You've got to stock that with stone knives at minimum if you want the person working there to skin the fish and like dry it or something. Otherwise, they just put the raw fish into food storage, which is okay, because then you can go do stuff with it yourself. The other element is you've got to have fishing spears, which you can find those laying around the map, but you're eventually going to run out. And you craft those at the smithy, at the workbench. It's a stone tool. It takes 1 stone, 1 log, and 1 flax, or 1 linen thread. Where you get linen thread? The sewing hut. By using flax stalks at the spinning wheel to turn the flax stalks into linen thread. You can also turn linen thread in 1-to-1 ratio into linen cloth. All right, you got that option too. But you can make all kinds of stuff there. I'm the only person who works the kitchen for now. That's a production job as well. So if I bring somebody in, I can put them in the kitchen. I can put them in, if they're good in extraction, I can put them on the well. Just give them a job. Have a spare house available and give them a job, and people will start being happy from the get-go. All right? And then we've got 5 storages. In the village, we've got food storage 2. We've got resource storage 2, which is our big one. And then at the other end of the village, I've got a small one. That's 3,000 kilos of storage between the two. Why do you have them at both ends of the village, A-Train? Because if you watched me, I ran back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It just got to be a pain. All right? Once your village starts growing out, you're going to want to have resource storage at both ends of it, wherever you're doing the construction. So you just have the materials readily available. Okay? Also, we have resource storage up at the north mine, and we have resource storage at the central mine. It's a little bit away from it. It's not right on top of it. That's right here-ish. There we are. Here's the central mine. Bears like to, do their bear thing there. Okay. If you build an extraction hut here, that cancels out the bear spawn. So that safes the mine for you. But to build the resource storage site, I had to go around the curve here. So that's a little bit of a jog, but it's a lot closer than trying to go anywhere else. I mean, even if you built your village here, see how much further that is? And your resource storage buildings are all tied together. So if you put something in one, it appears in any of them. So that I can go do my mining, load all that stuff into resource storage, and then it will be available to me here or here. I can take the ore out of here and go right here to my smithy, turn that into bars of copper and tin, and then turn those into bronze and store them there, and then we make weapons and tools. So see how that works and makes it convenient? Cool. Okay, shall we play a game? If you're new to the game, I hope you were paying attention, because I just laid down for you a ton of knowledge. Get on the Facebook group too, and you'll see me put a whole bunch more out on there. I write paragraphs. People may put 1 or 2 word answers. This is why my professors like me since I went back to college, because I provide lengthy answers. I assume that you know nothing. All right, so what are we doing? I have a couple of things I want to do. I just put the axe in my hand just for giggles. I need some food and some water. We could sit here on the bench. See, so we're down on the path here, right on the river. Gostovia's that way. Then Borowo. Branika's over there. Baranika's there. Tutki's over there. Rolnica is over there. Oh, hello. The paths diverge right here. The path going along the lake takes you out to the towards Rolnica. The path going to the left takes you to Denica, and then you gotta go over the hill, way over that way to Hornica, and way over down there to Jezerika, and then Lesnica is way over that way. All right. So blah 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 blah. Oh, there's my house. Got the shutters on it and stuff. I have not upgraded a lot of the houses with shutters yet. Now, see, these are the baskets I put out. Speaking of, let's do this. Boink, 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 boink. This stuff did not go turn into rot for me. Let's grab these. Let's set this, just put this down over here. We're going to build a composting bin because why not? Oops. Doink. All right, let me throw this crap down in here. You go XEF. You go XEF. And we'll wait for a second because you don't want to drop it all at once. It'll bounce off each other and go everywhere. You XEF. And this stuff, the meat and stuff is below 50%, so it's entirely possible it will poison you. The fish is not so bad because it's dried. All right. 31% condition. I could eat it, I guess. Oh, shoot, that was dumb. Oh, well. Why is it dumb, A-Train? Because Each one will turn into 1 rot. Okay? It takes 10 rot to make 1 fertilizer in the barn at the workbench. So I like keeping nice round numbers. But anyway, we're fully fueled up now, so that's fine. So we can drop this. Boink. Okay? Now, what else did we have in here? Another wicker crate. We'll come back to, yeah, that's the only stuff then. Okay, so let's look at El Dicho Presto. Well, I'm not sure how big this thing is. So let's find storages. Where is no? It's production, kitchen. Oh, we're almost there for kitchen too. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's the workshop. And that's the tavern. We've never gotten to that point. All right. So this is going to be your workshops, your smithies, your sewing huts, and kitchen. And then the tavern. What? I wonder... Wait. Let's see if it's here. Well, you were just here, doofus. Handcrafting so you can handcraft firewood. I don't want to make a snowball. You want to have build a snowman? Building. Okay, so you got woodshed 1 and 2, excavation shed, the mine, which comes way later, well, and herbalist hut. Not there. Farming. Barns. You want the barn. You want the farm shed. You do fields here and orchards here. That's an apiary. All right, so we got a hen house. We want to build a hen house here before too long, too. Where is the... Oh, you know what? I mean, I've unlocked it. That's the trick. There's a chest. What am I looking for here? Oh, it ain't there. Here's stuff you can make at the herbalist hut. Blah, blah, blah. Goofy rugs, trophies. Recurve bow is always good, although the longbow is sufficient. Potions of yada, 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 and a wolf fur rug, which would cost a bunch. Farming technology. Oh, wait a minute. There's flour, there's daub, animal feed, pigsty. Workshop. Come on, guys. Where the hell is the... Copper tools are good. Bronze tools are better. Here's stuff you can make at the sewing hut. Now, I can make bronze tools. We actually got a bunch of bronze sickles. Tunics, caps, fur hoods, blah, blah, blah. Fur boots and boots are good. Good God. Where is the composting bin? Have I missed it? Can't believe this. This is goofy. Decorative wood shutters. Okay, there's fancy stuff. Large flower. Oh my gosh. Wood shutters. Closed curtains. Clay flower pots. This is stupid. How am I not finding this? Composting. I would think that's going to be under crafting. Okay, potion. Potion, boar rug. Small fishing net. Recurve bow. Huh. I do not understand. Where the... Oh, you know what? Hang on. What the heck was that? Oh, building's crackling. I don't have a hammer in my hand anyway, so let's go grab a hammer. Maybe that's part of the issue. Oh, look. A bronze hammer. We're not just foo-fooing around. We're getting a bronze hammer. Stop. Hammer time. Okay, so let's see. Containers. There's chest, bundle, sack, barrel, miscellaneous. There it is. Hooray. 4 logs. Okay, we figured it out. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. I just couldn't remember. Jesus, it took 5 minutes to figure it out. Now I don't need 44. I just need 4. Let's see how big this is and how much it'll hold. Yeah, that. Wait, didn't we just do this? We just did this. Aha. Compost bin. Oh, there. I did it. What in the ass? Are you serious right here? It only hold 30? Man, that sucks. We're going to need like 2 or 3 or 5 of these things. Because I throw away a lot of food at times. You know what? Hell with that. We're just going to use the baskets. Baskets work great. All right, let's see if I can grab... Sorry, dude. We're going to walk this over here. I'm holding down the E key while I do this. Actually, I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here, so if I need to move between them, I can. Doink. All right, fine. And then let's drop this other basket, because these are not terribly light. There we go. All right. Okay, well, there's our composting crap. That's so dumb. 30 kilos. Wow. That's disappointing. Okay. But, all right, now we figured out the composting bin. Hooray and huzzah. Yay. Here's our well. Oh, you guys wanted to tour the village. Oh, my bad. Okay. All right, so we started with my house, which was small. I had the smallest house to begin with, and then upgraded to the bigger one. I could move it closer. I'd have to slide over. I kind of wanted to keep a little bit of space. Then I built these 3 houses along here. This is resource storage 2. I had a resource storage 1 and replaced it. There's a well and smithy 2 here. Then there's the barn. And notice we just run through the barn. And that takes us out to the orchards. And here's the fields. Okay. So we kind of have the semi-centrally located. This is field 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then 4 is right here. Then 5 and 6. And then the new field 7 is just the other side of those trees. Here's the farm shed, though. And then there's more orchards here. And I put some more over the other side of the path. Okay. So here's the road to Denica here. And then that's the road that takes you all the way over to the kind of the crossroads and then up to Rolnica off in the distance. That's Rolnica there. So anyway, so we've got some apple trees planted over here. I've got stones marking the corners of things so you can see what they are. I've still got these 3 plots right here. This is Orchard 8. 7, we just put in 2 apple trees and 2 hops thingies. Okay. So that area is about filled up. And then this is the new field 7, which needs to be fertilized. And our farmer person can do that tomorrow. This field's fertilized. Most of the fields are fertilized. We have a lot of fertilizer. So you take berries, you let the berries rot, grab them in multiples of 10. Okay. And then when you build the farm shed, it's got 150 kilogram capacity. We got 120 fertilizer. Our biggest field's 60. So that means we've got enough fertilizer to take care of 2 fields, right? Well, wait, there's more. There's 119 there, which means we got enough to take care of 2 more fields. And over in the barn, we've got like 2,000 rot waiting to be processed into fertilizer. And that's a job that we have somebody working. All right. So here we have our excavation shed, and we keep this stocked with pickaxes. And in this case, we're using bronze pickaxes and a shovel. And maybe a couple of shovels there. No, it's just one. But the people are collecting clay, which we're using to make some daub, and then clay vials and bowls, I think, up in the workshop. Here's our sewing hut. We got lots of stuff in here. You gotta have 10 flax stalks to make 1 flax thread, I think. Or 1 linen thread. We're kind of short on linen thread. We've got lots of linen fabric. But we've got straw, right? So if we want to make like a flat straw hat, which is what we typically, wear in the summer months or whatever. There's a straw hat, which is 20 straw and 1 linen fabric. And then a flat straw has 30 and 1. So just go over here. We need 1. We need 30 straw. Boom. Go over here. Hit this. Go to hats. Click on that. This will go quick. And there we go. Now we got a flat straw hat, which we can go sell. And if we hit inventory, it should sell for 130. But I think I think it's less than that though. I think it may only be like 60 or something. Who's this dude? Lesota. Okay. Lesota pulled guard duty tonight. He's got the watch. So we'll come over here and throw this down in here. And we'll take stuff over to sell at some point. Now let's see if I got anything. Yeah. We're going to need this. Now the question is where, or hey, A-Train, finish the tour. Okay, here's, this is the kitchen. Oh no, that's not the kitchen, that's the kitchen. This is food storage. All right, so we got resource storage, well, food storage. Is there a reason for that, A-Train? Yes. You keep buckets full of water here in food storage for your people to use, right? Once they're empty, they go to resource storage. So then you just go in there, grab the buckets, stop at the well, fill them up, put them in here, boom, done. The people's water needs are taken care of. That makes sense? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Nothing in this basket. Okay. So, and now this, in this basket over here, again, I don't have anybody working the, kitchen except me, because you get credit for the crafting. It's 200 kilos. So right now what I'm doing is just lightening up the load a little bit. Oopsie. By putting the bowls in here, and then we will put the wooden plates in here. Okay, so now we've got those there. So if we want to make something, we go over here to the cauldron. Like if we want to roast meat, we just roast that over here on the stone grate. If we want to bake breads and stuff, that goes in the oven. But here on the cauldron, we've been making soups, which pottage, 2 cabbage, 3 meat, 1 wooden bowl. Okay, this involves basically every other one involves salted. Okay, so this is meat and cabbage. This is salted meat and cabbage. We don't do salting meat, even though we've got salt. Salted meat, meat. Okay, so stew is 2 meat, 2 carrots, 1 wooden bowl. Soups is 3 beetroots, 4 meat, and 1 bowl. Okay. Mushroom soup is 1 meat, and a bolete, parasol, and pine mushroom. Okay. Now, I haven't unlocked vegetable soup yet. We're getting there, though. We're almost there. Porridges, the only thing I do in porridges is I unlocked porridge. I just haven't made it. And we'll look at that in a second. And then over here on other, this is like scrambled eggs, mushroom, quark, and cheese. Okay? Which you got to have other stuff to make cheese, but cheese is very popular. We're almost to having that unlocked too. All right? But what we do here is meat with gravy. You do 3 onions, 1 roasted meat, and 1 wooden plate. Boom. Okay? So what were we looking at? Porridge. So let's look at porridge. Management. Let's find porridge on. Here's pottage. Porridge is number 30 on the list. So pottage is better than porridge. Okay. See that? Cheese, grommet, is number 13 on the list. Then you get into baked goods above that. Okay. I mean, you have some baked goods. Basically, your top 20 is all, except for cheese, is all baked goods. All right. Vegetable soup being number 20, which we're about to unlock. So that'll be good. All right. So again, all the people's houses. Here's 1 woodcutter shed. You just want to make sure you keep this stocked with axes. In this case, we got 2 axes. He's got some planks and steaks in here. Actually, those. Oops, no, cancel. Those went there because storage got full. So he started storing it in that place. And then at some point, that tree's going to grow back in spring. I didn't cut down all the trees in the village space. Do we have any axes? We don't. Let's make him a couple of axes. I'd like to ask you some questions. All right, so we drop that off here. Planks we don't need in our hands. And then steak. Okay. So let's go make some axes. So we'll come over here to the smithy and go to the anvil. Now we can make copper tools, which you can make copper axes, which takes 1 log and 4 copper bars. Or make bronze tools, which takes 4 bronze bars, which is effectively 8 copper. Wait, math. No, it's 8 copper ore makes 4 copper bars. And then you'd have to have 4 copper bars plus 4 tin bars to make 4 bronze bars. But this has a better endurance to it. Resilience, what's the word I'm looking for? I've got lots of copper. We got copper bars. You know what? He's got tools. We're into a new season. I'm going to have to go do all the mining at some point anyway. So they can keep making copper tools. So there's that. Then up the way here, you've got the Tier 2 workshop where you can make clay and wood related stuff like plates and bowls. Then we have our hunting lodge here, which you got to keep stocked with knives. We've got tons of knives in here, 13 bronze and 2 stone. Second wood cutter shed. Woodshed. Here's our herbalist hut. And then there's our other storage. So you can see the distance between the 2 storages. That's a long way. And I've been building up this direction. See the houses all. So everything over here is simple small houses. Some of them are insulated, some are not. Some of them are insulated and fitted with shutters. All right. So now the nice thing, did I drop the hammer already? I did not. 0419. Yeah, let's go wake some people up. Actually, we won't wake them up, but you need limestone for insulations. 1 kilogram per limestone. So we can carry about 65, I think. That puts us right at 81. That's close enough. All right. So I'm going to go down here. And I'm insulating the people's homes before I insulate my own. All right. Take care of your people. So these 3 homes are insulated. I believe this one's fully done. Yeah, that's fully done. So this one here needs to be insulated, and this wall is partially done. All right. So what I need to do is right click and then add insulation. That's done. Now, notice down in the bottom left, see that 1 with the circle thing? That's the buff from builder skills. Now it goes to a 2. Now I'm going to build even faster. It's best to start by working on things that only take a couple of swipes, because now look how fast I'll start hitting. You also don't want to waste your swipes. Okay, be mindful. You don't want to be whacking on stuff. Boom. Because then that will take away durability of your tool. See, I looked away real quick so it didn't. Okay, cool. The house is done. Now let's see whose house this is. Manage. Ludwika. See the double arrows? She's getting happy. If she doesn't know this in her sleep, I just insulated her home. The next thing I could do is I could go and use planks to put shutters. Okay. So now, while we've still got some time on target, so now I got to run over here, but see, I don't have to go far, so that works out. And we do this quick enough. We can get back and keep the clock going. See, because we've got like 45 seconds, tick tock, of it going. All right, so now it resets. Boom. So we got like 45 seconds. It'll take you like 66 or so limestone to insulate a small house. It depends on how many windows you have in it. Like if you notice, the solid wall takes 8. A window or a door only takes 6. And these upper sections only take 4. That's why you should do them first. Because once you complete a section, in that case you take 4 hits and it completes a section, then it bumps you up to the next level of the speed. So you don't want to do the 8 first. You want to do 4, 4, 6. And then you're rocking and rolling when you get to the 8. Okay? The house is done. So now, let's look and see who lives here. Hello? Genewefa? Gino. Jenny. Okay? So Jenny's happy. Right? We just insulated her house. What else we got? We still got some limestone on. Hello? I got 3, which ain't going to... It's going to reset before I get to it. Beat me to it. All right, so now we're back down to normal speed. 1. Okay, now I got like 45 seconds. I'm going to have to do a 6 wall anyway, so I might as well just do this one. Well, actually, I should do the 4 first. So I'm at tier 1. Now I'm at tier 2. Now we're at tier 3. Each time you finish a wall, it resets the clock. Start the clock. Everybody's coming up like, what the hell is all that racket? Oh, we getting upgrades. Never mind. I didn't need to sleep anyway. Hello? And there should be 6 left. All right. Now I need a few more. I need 6 more to get the door, and then this house will be done.
How can I help you?
So let me take a closer look at her. All right, and here's her skills. Now, here is a trick. Now, if you want to remove them from the village, this is where you hit it. Hit remove right here. Don't do that with her. She was kind of weak coming in. I think she was a 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 1. But now she's farming 4 and about to be farming 5. She's working in the barn right now, making something. I think she's making daub or something like that. Excuse me. So,
How can I help you?
all right. So, how does it see the affection is 5% and it's down? Let's romance. Now, she's a snob. We're going to see how to deal with this. Okay, you don't want to ask her to be your wife. Okay, you ever been stung by a bee? She's a snob. Some say the king can tell the future. Let's try this one. Divorced by combat. Didn't change anything. Oh, that's not good. She's a snob. All right, that picked up 3. Of course, it is mine. So, yeah. Oh, there we go. Now we found something she liked that. Trying to teach elegance around here is like casting pearls before swine. And there we go. I'm not surprised you, of all people, think so. Yeah, she's kind of a biatch. So you need to think about some of the things. But now we've cranked up her stuff.
Good day.
Yeah. All right, so when we get some more limestone, and we've got our people at the extraction hut working on limestone, okay? And the way that works is this. Actually, let me take you over to storage. Once you start working the mines, okay, and you should do that yourself because you can't build a mine to work the mines until you get like a bazillion points, right? Part of mining is you will gather... Oh, this is my inventory. What a doofus. You wind up gathering the ore, like the copper ore or the tin ore or salt. But you also gather stones. Okay, so you want to collect those stones. They weigh you down. Then you want to drop them and come back and get them later because then you can carry more ore, which is what you're actually in the mine for. Right? Okay, does that make sense? Look at that. I got 1,000 stones. How'd you get 1,000 stones, A-Train? Because when you go through, clear out a mine, you're going to wind up with like 300 or 400 stones. The trick is getting them somewhere they're useful, which is a resource storage building. That's why you build one of those close to the mine. Okay? You transport out all the ore, or the salt, and then you take the stones as well. Then you don't have to have your extraction people working on stone because you've got it. Am I making sense here? So then what you do is set up extraction, your excavation shed, all right, to get limestone. Now they can get some clay, that's fine, and they can get some straw. They do not need to collect stone when you've got 1,000 stone in your inventory. That's a waste of time. Have them get limestone. Build with the stone, insulate with the limestone. The clay allows us to make daub, which means we'll be able to insulate some of the buildings that are not stone-sided, which are your working buildings for the most part. And the straw is combined with clay to make daub in the barn. Straw is also, as you saw earlier, used in the sewing hut to create straw hats, which sell for money. So there you go. So yeah, you can go collect a bazillion straw. We got 900. You think the people collected that? No. I went down to the river, and you take some time and you just start collecting all of the reeds. Okay? And you'll be able to collect several hundred of them and then go put them in storage. And you'll use them either later to build stuff, to build buildings, or you can convert them into something else. All right? But having the extractors, the excavator people, just get a little bit of straw at a time keeps this number up. And I could probably devote more of their time because, again, it's easy enough for me to do it. But, it is an option So actually, let's go in here, go to management. We're going to change that percentage. So we're going to excavation shed 1, and this is the workload, all right? So we're going to reduce straw down 10%. We're going to increase limestone. Okay? Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Cool? That's how that works. And if you see indicators like this, master idiot alerts, be cognizant. Look, there's 3 issues. Excavation shed does not have anybody because it's over by the central mine. I just store tools there so I can mine. Herbalist hut, I work myself. The well, I work myself. So there's nobody assigned to them. Production, kitchen, nobody assigned to it because I do the work myself. All right? So then, as long as you know what the status of your buildings is, if you get an alert in the upper left-hand corner, you'll know something is amiss. Somebody's run out of something, and you need to do something to make sure they have something to do something with. Huh? Right? Okay, cool. So now, the question is, see, I built this road off to the right here. So we're at a crossroads. I need to put a chicken coop in here somewhere. I'm not sure where I want to put a chicken coop. I don't think I want to put it here, and then I want to put houses back in there. But putting a chicken coop here makes it convenient to food storage, which is next door to the kitchen. See how that makes sense? So now all the roads run north-south. All the fields run north-south. All your orchards run north-south. You can make the buildings face any direction you want. You can make the roads go different directions. But building on a grid based on the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, on the compass, just makes it easier. And there was someone who came up with a question about this the other day, or yesterday on the Facebook group. So yeah, so you can build the road, just face east or south. Okay, see how my road runs south? Funny how that works. West or north. Okay? Then you can line the buildings up with it. But then it'll also align with the fields. So now, nope. We need a hen house, and we need a little place for the cluckers to fenced in to move around, I guess. All right, that tree is in the way. Tree's in the way, though. Tree's in the way. It vexes me because it's in the way. Do I have a shovel on me? I do not. I've left a number of trees here in the village, like this one. That one should probably stay. But this one and that one there is going to stay. That one there is going to regrow shortly, as will that one down there. So I kind of like the idea of leaving some of the trees around. That's been kind of cool, I think. But this tree has gots to go. Stay away from the tree as it falls and bounces, and then move up to it. Logs will roll downhill. That is a way to get them from point A to point B. If you're working up on the hillside, okay, and you need to get your logs down there, and you're overweight, XEF, gravity. Okay, let it do the work for you. Now let's just grab these sticks while we're here. Whip out the shovel. Dig up the stump. So now we have 5 logs from that tree. We're going to need these sticks to make the fence anyway. Then we're going to go buy us some chickens. We got some animal feed, and we've got the stuff to make animal feed too. I think that pretty well has the plot covered. Good. Let's get over here. Hit that. Hit that. 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 I don't want to be right on the path. It doesn't need to be very big. You can only have 10 chickens. So you can't go all the way over. But this is a good spot right here-ish. All right. So now what we can do is just kind of line this up. I could back it up a little bit more, I suppose. So what are you going to do, that A-Train? I'm going to right-click and go Destroy. Boom. I'm going to reset myself. Okay. And then I'm going to right-click again and go to Build. And hit Q. Boing, boing, boing. Okay. I'm going to move just off the edge of the existing path, and we're going to push this back a little bit more. Maybe about there. That's good enough. All right. So we need 6 stones. We got 9. Okay, and then we're going to need some logs. Oh, we need 4. We got 5. We'll need a couple for the roofs. Okay. 6 sticks. We got 8. Okay, so we need 1 log, 2 logs, 3 logs, 16 sticks. So we need 24 straw, I think. 16 sticks. We're running out of time. That's okay. It's not that big a structure. Connor P, yo, what's happening? How are you, Connor? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a great day. All right, so we need like 6 logs, right? 230 in the inventory. That's good. That's real good. We need steak. That should be enough. And then we need straw, and I think we just need like 24 straw. So let's see if we can get... that's 34. There's 23, 24. Boom. Okay, let's get this chicken coop built, and then we'll build a fence around it. And then we'll look at our animal feed situation. All right, now, notice I only need the log here. Okay? So this is going to trigger that buff on my construction. See, now we're at tier 1. So what's the next easiest thing to build? It's probably going to be the roof. All right? It's going to take less strikes. Now we're at tier 2. Now we're at tier 3, so now we're going to go really quick. And there we go. Now somebody's out of something. Shoot, we need 1 more log. What a doofus. I miscounted. Now let's go get 1 log. That's going to take 1 hammer strike. Who cares? And then we're going to need a bunch more sticks, which we may just pick up from laying around because, I don't know, it's winter. They're obvious. We'll see. We'll plan out the fence around it, and then we'll see how many steak we need, and we'll either go pick them up off the ground or pull them from inventory. Boom, hen house. Hooray. Okay? And this is where you put animal feed in the trough. Okay. Awesome. I don't think I have fences unlocked yet. So let's go look at that. That's under technology. Low steak fence, steak gate. What are other options? You got wattle fences. These are fancy. I kind of like that. And wattle gate. Well, let's, you know what? We got 16,000 coins. Let's buy that, that, and that. Why not? Oh, we'll buy a chest while we're at it. Well, no, we won't buy that. Okay. So, Now, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of figure out what will fit to where, right? We're going to put the gate right here, okay? And then we're going to have the, we're face east, so we're aligned. Kind of line up with this corner here. And we'll do fences, and we got wattle fence, low wattle fence. It's chickens, you know? Now, the only reason why I wouldn't build a low wattle fence is because, you know, you could think predators could jump that easy enough, right? So that makes sense. So instead, let's go with that, that, that. All right, see, that would take to there. We're going to put the gate here. So we're back here. Gates. Wattle gate. Stay aligned to the east. We're just going to move it. There. Okay. And we're going to right click. It's telling us how many sticks we're going to need for this. And we're back to fences. I think that's going to be enough. Boom. Done. There we go. Hooray. All right, let's see how much we need here. 8, 16, well. And then we'll see who's out of what. All right, so we need 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 74, 82, 90, 98. We need 98 steak. And then I think I've got animal feed down in the barn. That's where you craft it. Sometimes, like when you're planting fields and stuff, it helps to position yourself between two things because then you can just turn. It's more efficient. Now we're getting busy. Oh, except we're thirsty. Need to finish this off anyway. I'll fix that. Okay, we're done. Hooray. Now, let's jog down here to the barn. On the way, we will stop and get some high quality H2O. We can eat this oat roll now. And then we can eat a couple of that. All right, so we get the animal feed. I picked this up along the way. I hadn't made it. Rot 2006. Yeah, see, there's stuff here to make daub and make insulation. No, fertilizer. All right. Animal feed takes 1 oat grain, 1 rye grain, and 5 straw. Okay. Our oat grain and our rye grain. Let me just check storage. I think I've put it all out at the farm shed, though. And we're going to need some straw in there. Flaxseed. No oat grain. No rye grain. It's all out at the... Yeah. All right, so let's maybe move, like... Sure. Oh, I had... That's okay. All right. Takes care of that. Now, let's just take a quick look here at our management, and we'll see who's out of what. Animal husbandry. Oh. Well, that's still not the... I still don't think that's an issue. Ah, there's the issue. Sewing hut 1. No resources, probably linen fabric. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so who's working there? Seamster, Lesota. Lesota is a farmer by trade. That's convenient. I need a farmer. Who thunk it? All right. And now I'll push her up. Her production's almost up there, though. I may wait. See, but she's got 1, 1, 1. Ugh, kind of sucks. For now, I'll keep her there. She can make other stuff. It just means she's out of stuff to make linen thread, right? So we need 1 oat grain, 1 rye grain. All right, and so here's our oat grain. We got 52. Rye grain, we got 46. That plant's in the autumn. We have a field of this growing now. Oat grain plants in spring. I do not have that queued up to grow. So we may have to go buy some more of it. But actually, let's do this. I'm going to take 12. 12 of this. Okay. Rye plants in the fall. Oat grain plants in the spring. You use those two things. You can make flour to make breads, or you can make animal feed from them. Do you see what I'm getting at? Plant 1 in the spring, clear the field, plant the other in the fall. And you use 1 field to do both. Right? It just so happens we have a field with 40 tiles to it. And I think we'll just set that up to do that. So now we'll come in here. I need 5 straw. So we're making 12, so we need 60 straw. And this actually should last us a pretty good time. All right. All right, there we go. We should be all set. Rudolphina is threshing. And the other dude is making stuff. The ladies are working hard over here. Doing good work. All right, so now there's a trough and there's a sack. Okay. So we're going to hold this down. All right. Oh, nuts. I did not think that through. I made the animal feed, but then the animal feed automatically went into resource storage. Oops. The hell you say? Where'd it go? Did it go to food storage? Where did the animal feed go? That's a 73% full. That's not there. I don't think it went here. Shouldn't have. No, it must have stayed in the barn, which I guess kind of makes sense. Okay. It would have gone back into the barn storage. Which threw me for a loop. Could it be out here? Where the hell did our animal feed go? Oh, this ain't good. Oh, you know what? I made. Oop, hello. I had 12 plus 10, so I had 22 animal feed. Maybe it all just went into the trough. And that's fine, if that's the case. When we get just a couple of baby chicks, and we're just going to start with baby chicks. Yeah, that's fine. That's what happened. Okay, so now, where do you go to get chickens? And we know what we're going to do. We're not going to get the chickens right now. So with that said, what we could do is then look at plotting possibly 2 more animal spots in here. This isn't very big, but I think it might work. Well, that tree's going to be a bit of a sticky wicket. We could do a pig pen. I've got the stuff to do pig pen. And then a goose and a donkey shelter. A goose house. For geese, you go to Gustovia. Donkeys, you go to Tutki. Pigs, you go to Rolnica. Chickens, you go to Borowo. And I don't think you have to, I think you can mind them yourself. I don't know if you have to have them, you know, watched full time. But I think we're going to wait. You know what else I could build right here? Nope. Crap. Okay. You know what I can't build right here? If I cut down that tree, I could build a house here. I could build a bigger house too. I have to cut down both these trees because the limbs are... What's the problem here? Or we could build like a goose shelter. Yeah, see, the goose house fits. And it could almost be the same thing. I mean, we just, you know, share the fencing. We could build the pigsty. Donkey shelter's a little bigger. It's got to have a little more room. Whoa, it lit up there. But I don't want to dink around with donkeys at the moment. So pigsty would be good. Pigs make manure. Manure makes fertilizer, right? So that'd be a nice compact little farming setup there. And then we'd have to figure out if we wanted to do the goose thing up here. The geese, I guess, give you feathers, meat, and eggs. So that's something to work with. But hey, there's chickens for now. We're set. What time is it? It's 5 p.m. Could not get to... It would take about 2 hours to run to Gustovia. Might still be able to get to see the dude. I already made this trek. Checked all these sites. Went up here. Checked across here. The winter camp is not here. Went up here. Through here. Across here. Through here. So the bandit camps for now are somewhere in the south, which kind of sucks. Somebody needs our help in Gustovia. Oh, someone needs our help here in the village. Let's see who that is and what they need. Let's do a quest. Oh, it's a hunter. They probably need a bow. Watch this. Hey, man for man.
Hello.
Damn it. You're not hearing the game sounds, are you? It just occurred to me. I did not change the setting. I'll fix it. Okay, so now you'll be able to hear the game settings. Or game sounds. There we are. Now you can hear it in my headphones. Okay, so hit tab, go to journal, time to hunt. He needs a longbow. Really? Let me show you how to make a longbow, man for man. Oh, you know what? I don't have to make you one. Watch this. Ha ha ha. D-kid. Oh, where did I put him? Did I put him down? Tell me I sold them. I may have sold them. All right. This needs a log. 3 linen thread and 1 leather. We got no linen thread. Ah, crap on a stick. Maybe I put the... Maybe I didn't sell the longbows. I don't know why I would have sold the longbows. That would have been stupid if I'd sold the longbows. I think maybe I stashed them in here. There's bow. There's a recurve bow. I sold the longbows. What an idiot. Alright, so what we need is 3 flax thread. And to get that, we got to run the Gustovia. Poop. Well, I'll deal with that. Wait, let's see. Hang on a second. Let me check something. We got several days left, but expires this season. Yeah, shoot. Okay. You don't want to have to run and actually buy a longbow, even though I've got the money for it. I got like 16,000 coins. I got a lot of coins, which is pretty sweet. But what we'll do is we'll just wait through the day. We'll go to Gustovia tomorrow and buy some flax stalks and come back and just build him one. Wait a minute. I got flax flax seed. I don't have flax stalks. I don't have linen. I got linen fabric. That's the problem. That's the problem right there, is I've got my production going the wrong way. So we need to make an adjustment. I actually need to get that guy out of sewing hut. Lesotho. Yeah. And that takes linen thread, which we don't have anymore. Okay, that takes fur. Ah, we got linen. Oh, we can make bags. Don't have linen. Don't have that. Don't have that. Don't have that. Have that. If we're making simple bags, we don't need to make bags, but we can because that will take care of some of the allocation, all the stupid linen that we've got now. Flat straw hats you can make more of. That's good. That'll keep them busy. Well, nuts. All right. We'll deal with that. But for now, you guys have gotten to see the new village. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. We got go get some animals. And we got the new fields going in. We got a fishing hut down the way there, you can see, by the way. And so I kind of like it. I've kind of left some trees standing where I could. And so that works out. Let me see who this is. This is Zigamunta. And we're out of luck. Oh, it's Bernadetta. Hey, hey, hey.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Now, she's a busy bee. She's, it's good they don't. Using weapons made them even more barbaric. A real force to be reckoned with. Ah, she's got jokes. Like it. Divorced by combat. I don't know if that's something that would interest her. You got to pick one of these things, and you don't want to ask her to be your wife unless she's 100% affection. So we could talk about washing them and soaking them in urine, make it easier to wash. Or you want to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs, said the homicidal chicken. Let's try that. +3. Chicken's mind must really be scrambled. She's a busy bee. It's starting to get really hard to keep my hands to myself around. Wait, you want to see what that or this athletic figure of yours is quite impressive. +10. My body is a temple and a tool. I take good care of it. Glad to hear you can appreciate that. All right, that should be all we can do right now. Oh, we can do one more. Ah, see, are you mocking me? It's like all covered in muck. Ah, okay. So now we're done.
See you soon.
All right, we'll see you. All right, well, we did pretty good there. We were really positive in the end, but you don't want that to go blah on you like that. So yeah, you got to kind of be careful what you ask these questions. All right, so we're dirty, but also that should have helped our diplomatic skills. Okay, we should pick up by doing the flirting. That picks that up. And since I don't have a place to bathe properly, the way it works here, let's see who this is. Ulrika.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, she's an affection 100%. Yeah. I don't know if we can. Now she's a romantic. So let's see. When you're not around, I feel incomplete, hollow. I could listen to your voice for hours. That's +5. Your smile is more warming than the campfire itself. +7. Hope I'm not making you too hot. So,
See you soon.
yeah, she's off to bed. All right, so here's the deal. I got this path down here for a reason. We walk in the water, and like, boom. That's about how far you have to go, and then you're clean. That's convenient. It's a real easy place to bathe. You check here, and you see down the bottom right, 0% dirty. Okay? So awesome. All right, cool beans. All right, so for now, gang, I think that was a little fun. You guys got to see the new village, and We talked a whole lot about some stuff to learn in the game, so hopefully that helps you out if you play Medieval Dynasty, now available on Steam from Render Cube Games and Toplets Productions. It's a fantastic game. You just missed the Steam Summer Sale, so here's the other thing. Sengoku Dynasty, which is the Japanese version of this, is due out in early access August 10th. And that is so happening. So that will be coming to the channel in about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. So look for that. I'm jumping on that quick and hoping it's not too buggy and hoping it's as pretty as this one is, because that's going to be super fun to have this, you know, this type of game in a Japanese setting, because I was stationed in Japan while I was in the Air Force, in case you missed that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please give us a like, share with your friends, let them know about the channel, let them know about Medieval Dynasty, now available on Steam, and subscribe for more great content coming soon. Turn on that bell icon so you know we go live or upload a video. Also, you can join us on Discord, link in the description below, as is a link to our PayPal page if you feel so inclined and be so kind as to make a donation. PayPal.me/ATrainGames. It's PayPal.me/ATrainGames. Appreciate everyone being here, and hope to see you again real soon. Hope you have a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are on planet Earth or beyond. I'm A-Train. It's over. And I'm out.